Well, people ask me this question all the time. They say, Warren, if you had to start over today with nothing, no money, no connections, no reputation, could you still become wealthy? And if so, how would you do it? And I always tell them the same thing. Yes, absolutely yes. In fact, in some ways, it would be easier today than when I started because you have advantages I never had. Information is free. You can learn anything online. You can start businesses with almost no capital. The tools available today are incredible. So today, I want to walk you through exactly what I would do if I started 2026 with $0. Not what I did in the 1950s, what I would do right now, in today's economy, with today's tools, starting from absolute zero. This isn't theory, this is a real, actionable plan, step by step, month by month. Exactly what I'd do to go from broke to financially secure within a few years and wealthy within a decade or two. Now, I need to set some parameters here. Let's say I'm in my 20s. I'm healthy, I speak English, I'm in the United States, I have access to the internet, but I have $0, no savings, no assets, nothing. That's the starting point. So what would I do? Let's start with month one, the very first month, the first 30 days of building wealth from nothing. Day one, I'd get any job that pays immediately. I don't care what it is. Restaurant server, delivery driver, retail worker, construction laborer, anything that gives me cash flow right away. Because you can't invest with $0. You need to generate income first. I'm not worried about whether this job is prestigious or aligned with my career goals. That comes later. Right now, I need money coming in. I need to end the emergency of having $0. So I take whatever job I can get that pays. Let's say I get a job that pays $15 an hour. I work 40 hours a week. That's $600 a week, about $2,400 a month after taxes. Not much, but it's a start. It's better than zero. Now here's what's crucial. From that very first paycheck, I'd save 50%. $1,200 a month goes into savings. The other $1,200 covers my living expenses. Warren, you can't live on $1,200 a month. Yes, you can. I'd find the cheapest room I could rent, maybe a room in a shared house for $500 a month. I'd eat extremely cheaply, rice, beans, eggs, whatever's on sale. I'd walk or bike instead of owning a car. No entertainment expenses, no luxuries, bare bones living. Most people won't do this. They think they deserve a certain standard of living. They need their own apartment. They need a car. They need to go out with friends. They need streaming services and nice clothes and all these things. But I wouldn't care about any of that. For the first 6 to 12 months, I'd live like I was broke because I am broke while saving aggressively. Because that savings is my seed capital. That's what's going to change everything. So month one, I'm working full-time, living on $1,200 a month, saving $1,200 a month. At the end of month one, I have $1,200 saved, my first nest egg in decades. Now, while I'm working this job and saving aggressively, I'm also doing something else, something critical. I'm learning. Every spare moment, mornings before work, evenings after work, weekends, I'm educating myself. What am I learning? 3 things. First, I'm learning about investing. I'm reading everything I can about stocks, compound interest, index funds. I'm reading annual reports of companies. I'm studying how businesses make money. all free online. Second, I'm learning a valuable skill that's in high demand. Maybe coding, maybe digital marketing, maybe sales, maybe data analysis. Something where there's demand and I can learn it online for free or very cheap. Third, I'm learning about personal finance, how to budget, how to avoid debt, how to maximize savings, how money actually works. All the fundamentals most people never learn. So I'm working 40 hours a week at my basic job, and I'm studying 20 to 30 hours a week on top of that. That's a 60 to 70 hour work week. That's exhausting, but it's only temporary. This intensive period of work and learning is the foundation for everything that comes next. By month 3, I have $3,600 saved. That's my emergency fund. That's my safety net. Now I can take the next step. Month 4, I open a brokerage account. I take $3,000 of my savings and I invest it. Where? In a simple S&P 500 index fund. Nothing fancy, nothing complicated. Just broad market exposure at the lowest cost possible. I'm leaving $600 in savings as a small emergency fund. Everything else is now invested. And from this point forward, every month I'm investing $600 from my savings. Half stays as emergency fund buffer, half goes into the market. Now, some people would say, Warren, you should build a bigger emergency fund first. You should have 6 months of expenses saved before you invest. I disagree. When you're young and starting from zero, time in the market is more valuable than a big emergency fund. I have a small buffer. I have a job. I'm young and healthy. I can take more risk. So I want money invested and compounding as soon as possible. By month 6, I've been learning skills for 6 months. Let's say I've been learning to code or digital marketing or sales. I'm not an expert yet, but I'm competent. I can do basic work. I have something valuable to offer. Now I start looking for a better job. Not another basic wage job. A job that uses the skills I've been learning. A job that pays $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a year instead of $15 an hour. This is where my 6 months of intensive learning pays off. I apply to dozens of jobs. I'm willing to start at entry level in my new field. I'm hungry. I'm willing to work hard. I have some basic skills to offer. Let's say by month 8 or 9, I get a job paying $40,000 a year. That's about $2,800 a month after taxes, double what I was making before. Now here's where most people make a huge mistake. They get a raise or a better job and they immediately increase their lifestyle. Bigger apartment, nicer stuff, more spending. I wouldn't do that. I'd keep living on exactly $1,200 a month. Same cheap room, same cheap food, same bare-bones lifestyle. Because now I can save $1,600 a month instead of $1,200. By month 12, 1 year in, I've saved maybe $15,000. About $6,000 is in my emergency fund. $9,000 is invested in index funds. I have a job paying $40,000 a year. I'm still living cheaply, but I'm building real momentum now. Year 2 is where things accelerate. I'm continuing to learn and improve my skills. I'm becoming more valuable. After a year in my field, I'm no longer entry level. I'm competent. I'm productive. I'm worth more. I'm also starting to think about side income. Because I've been learning for 18 months now, I have skills people will pay for. So maybe I start freelancing on weekends. Maybe I build websites for small businesses. Maybe I do consulting. Maybe I teach others what I've learned. Let's say I can generate an extra $1,000 a month from side work. That's $12,000 a year on top of my $40,000 salary. I'm now making $52,000 total while still living on $1,200 a month. By the end of year 2, I've saved maybe $40,000 total. My emergency fund is fully funded at around $7,000. I have $33,000 invested in the stock market. At historical returns, it's already worth more than I put in. Compound interest is starting to work. Now, in year 3, I make another career move. I've been in my field for 2 years. I've built skills and experience. I've been a good employee. I have a track record. I can command higher pay. I either negotiate a significant raise asking for $60,000, or I change jobs to get that $60,000. With 2 years of experience in a valuable skill, this is very achievable. I'm also continuing my side income. Maybe it's grown to $1,500 a month as I've gotten better and built a reputation. So now I'm making $78,000 a year total while still living on about $1,500 a month. I've allowed a bit of lifestyle expansion, but not much. By the end of year 3, I'm saving maybe $4,000 a month, $48,000 a year. My invested portfolio is now over $100,000 between what I've contributed and market growth. At this point, 3 years in, I'm no longer broke. I have a 6-figure net worth. I'm earning good money. I have valuable skills. I have momentum. The hardest part is over. Years 4 and 5 are about continuing this trajectory, continuing to increase my earning power, continuing to save aggressively, continuing to invest, continuing to learn and grow. Maybe I start my own business. Maybe I keep climbing the corporate ladder. Maybe I build my side hustle into a full-time thing. The options expand as my skills and capital grow. By year 5, if I've stuck to this plan, I could easily have $250,000 or more invested. I'm making $80,000 to $100,000 a year. I'm still living relatively modestly, but I'm financially secure. I'm on track to be a millionaire within 10 to 15 years. From $0 to $250,000 in 5 years. From broke to financially secure, all without getting lucky, all without inheriting money, all without some special opportunity. Just discipline, learning, hard work, and smart financial choices. Now that's the timeline. Let me talk about the specific principles I'd be following throughout this entire process. The non-negotiables that make this plan work. Principle 1. I'd never carry consumer debt. No credit card debt, no car loans, no financing anything except maybe a very modest house later. Every dollar of interest I pay is a dollar that can't compound for me. Debt is the enemy of wealth building from zero. If I can't afford something with cash, I don't buy it. Period. This discipline alone separates people who build wealth from people who stay broke. Principle 2. I'd invest in index funds, not individual stocks. When you're starting from zero, you don't have time to research individual companies properly. You need broad market exposure with minimal effort. Index funds give you that. Some people will say I should use my stock picking skills, but honestly, when you're starting from zero and working 2 jobs and learning new skills, you don't have time for deep stock analysis. Keep it simple. Index funds, that's it. Principle 3, I'd focus on increasing my earning power above almost everything else. When you're starting from zero, saving 15% versus 20% doesn't matter that much. The numbers are too small. But doubling your income from 40,000 to 80,000, that's massive. That's game-changing. So I'd spend enormous energy on building valuable skills and increasing what I can earn. Most people do the opposite. They focus on clipping coupons and finding the cheapest gas station. That's fine, but it's small potatoes. Focus on the big levers, skills, earning power. Those are what matter when you're building from zero. Principle 4, I'd live well below my means even as my income grows. This is critical. Lifestyle inflation destroys most people who increase their income. They make more, they spend more, they never get ahead. I'd keep my expenses almost flat even as my income doubles or triples. That's how you go from saving $1,200 a month to saving $4,000 a month. Not by earning a bit more, but by earning a lot more and not spending it. Principle 5, I'd be ruthlessly focused on the long game. Everything I just described takes 5 years minimum. That's 5 years of living cheaply, 5 years of working hard, 5 years of delayed gratification. Most people can't do this. They want results faster. They want to enjoy their money now. They want to look successful now. So they never make it through the difficult early years. But if you can think long term, if you can accept 5 years of discomfort for 50 years of security, you'll make it. You'll build wealth from nothing. Now let me address some objections. Some people will say, Warren, you can't live on $1,200 a month. Yes, you can. I've seen people do it. You need roommates. You eat cheaply. You don't have a car, or you have a very cheap one. You have no entertainment expenses. It's possible. Others will say, what if you can't get a job paying $40,000? Then you work harder on skills development. You might need an extra 6 months. You might need to relocate to where those jobs are. But the jobs exist. There's demand for skilled workers. You just have to make yourself skilled. Some will say, what if the stock market crashes? Then you keep investing. You buy more shares at lower prices. Over 5, 10, 20 years, crashes don't matter. They're buying opportunities. Don't let fear of volatility keep you from investing. Others will say, what about having a life? What about enjoying your 20s? And my answer is, you're making a choice. You can enjoy your 20s with spending and fun and end up broke in your 30s and 40s. Or you can sacrifice your 20s and have security and freedom for the rest of your life. Most people choose short-term enjoyment. That's why most people stay broke. But if you choose long-term security, you'll end up with both money and time to enjoy it later. Now let me tell you what I wouldn't do if I started 2026 with $0. What I'd avoid at all costs. I wouldn't try to get rich quick. No crypto speculation. No meme stocks. No day trading. No gambling on options or futures. None of that nonsense. That's how people lose money, not make it. I wouldn't go back to school for an expensive degree, not when I have $0. Maybe later if a specific degree would significantly increase my earning power and I could afford it, but not at the beginning. Too expensive, takes too long, uncertain return. I wouldn't start a business in year one. I know that sounds strange coming from me, but when you have $0, starting a business is risky. You need capital. You need a safety net. Get a job first. Build skills. Save money. Then consider a business. I wouldn't finance anything. No car loans, no furniture on credit, no buy now, pay later schemes. If I can't pay cash, I don't buy it. Debt is toxic when you're starting from zero. I wouldn't try to look successful. No nice apartment to impress people. No new clothes to project an image. No expensive social life to keep up with peers. All of that is wasting money I could be investing. And I wouldn't give up. This is hard, really hard. There will be moments when you're tired of living cheaply, when you're working 2 jobs, when your friends are having fun and you're studying, when you want to quit. But if you quit, you're guaranteeing you'll stay broke. If you push through, you'll emerge with financial security. The choice is yours. Now, some people will say, Warren, you're Warren Buffett. You have knowledge and skills most people don't have. This wouldn't work for an average person. But that's wrong. Everything I've described is available to anyone. Learning resources are free online. Entry-level jobs exist everywhere. Index funds are available to anyone. The discipline to save and invest is a choice, not a talent. The only advantage I have is knowledge of what works, and I just gave you that knowledge. Now you have the same advantage. The only question is whether you'll use it. Because here's the truth. Most people won't do this. They'll read this or hear this and think, that sounds hard. I don't want to live that cheaply. I don't want to work that hard. I'll find an easier way. But there is no easier way. There are faster ways that sometimes work, starting a successful business, getting incredibly lucky, but those aren't reliable. The path I've described is reliable. It works. It's just hard. And that's exactly why it works. Because it's hard, most people won't do it. They'll keep looking for shortcuts, keep staying broke, keep wishing they were wealthy while not doing what's necessary to become wealthy. But you can be different. You can be one of the few who actually does this, who actually lives cheaply, works hard, learns constantly, saves aggressively, invests wisely, and builds wealth from nothing. It takes about 5 years to get from zero to financially secure following this plan. 5 years. That's shorter than most college degrees, shorter than most professional certifications. And at the end, you have real wealth instead of just credentials. 5 years from now, you could have $250,000 invested, good income, valuable skills, financial security, all because you were willing to do what most people won't do for 5 years. Or you could be in the same place you are now, still broke, still wishing things were different, still looking for the easy way. The choice is entirely yours. But if I started 2026 with $0, I'd do exactly what I've described. And 5 years later, I'd be wealthy, or at least well on my way. Because the plan works, the math works, the principles work. They've always worked. They'll work for anyone willing to apply them. So my challenge to you is this. If you're starting 2026 with $0 or close to it, commit to this plan. Month by month, step by step, exactly as I've laid it out. Year 1, get any job. Live on half your income. Save aggressively. Learn valuable skills. Start investing within 3 months. Year 2, get a better job using new skills. Add side income. Keep living cheaply. Keep learning. Keep investing every month. Year 3, level up your career again. Grow side income. Maintain modest lifestyle while income grows. Watch your net worth explode. Years 4 and 5, continue the trajectory. You're no longer broke, you're building serious wealth. You have options, you have security, you have momentum. That's the plan. That's what I do. That's what I'm telling you to do if you're starting from zero. Will you do it? Probably not. Most people won't. Most people will keep doing what they've always done and wonder why their situation never changes. But maybe you're different. Maybe you're one of the rare ones who actually takes action, who actually does the hard things, who actually commits to 5 years of discipline in exchange for a lifetime of security. If that's you, start today. Get that first job. Find that cheap room. Set up that automatic savings. Open that brokerage account. Start learning those skills. Don't wait for perfect conditions. Don't wait until you know more. Don't wait until you feel ready. Just start. Start today. Start with whatever you have, even if it's $0. Because 5 years from now, you'll wish you had started today. You'll look back and see this moment as the turning point, the moment when everything changed. Or you'll look back with regret, wishing you had taken action when you had the chance. Which will it be? That's up to you. Thank you for listening. Now go build wealth from zero. Good luck. You're going to need it. But more than luck, you're going to need discipline, and that's something only you can provide.